4 o'clock? Good to go. Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the Borough of Beach Haven Agenda Meeting. It is Thursday, July 28th at 4 p.m. Please rise for the flag salute led by Mrs. Ballmiller.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, adequate and electronic notice of this meeting has been provided by posting on a bulletin board in the Beach Haven Municipal Building, on the borough website, and mailing the same to the Beach Haven Times, the Asbury Park Press, and the Press of Atlantic City. Mr. Allen?
Here.
Mrs. Ball Miller?
Here.
Dr. Davis?
Here.
Mrs. Rutherford? Here. Mayor Lambert?
Here.
At the previous meeting, ordinance 2022-13C was tabled. At this point, we will not be returning to that ordinance. We're going to be foregoing it. And in lieu, introducing 2022-18C, an ordinance amending chapter 199, vehicles and traffic, article 2, parking regulations in the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, to create a no parking area at the end of West Avenue and to create perpendicular parking. First reading.
Since it is the first reading, there will be no public comment. Would anybody on the council like to comment? No? I would just like to say that I appreciate the fact that 2 of our council members took the time to meet. Personally, I thought the other version was just fine, but since they have worked this out, then I will go with it. And is there a motion to approve 2022-18C?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Ball Miller?
I'm abstaining from this vote.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mayor Lambert?
Yes.
All matters listed under item consent agenda are considered to be routine by the municipal council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds, and any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed separately. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Resolution 158, awarding a negotiated contract track to wireless communications and electronics pursuant to NJSA 40A:11-53 for the purchase and installation of 3 Wheelan sirens.
Yay.
167, updating the local emergency management council. 168, approving a membership to the Beach Haven Volunteer Fire Company. 170 is the 2022 salary resolution. 171 is authorizing execution of a stipulation of settlement agreement for certain litigation. 172, authorizing the award of professional service contract to Davison, Eastman, Unos, and Payone as special maritime counsel for tideland and riparian issues. 174, requesting the Department of Interior extend the public comment period for the draft environmental impact statement for Ocean Wind LLC, proposed wind energy facility offshore New Jersey. 175, amending resolution 151, designated time limit parking for curbside pickup. 176, acknowledging the hiring of Eric Hahn as mechanic for the Department of Public Works. 177, authorizing an executive session to discuss potential litigation, attorney-client privilege. 178, authorizing a refund of duplicate water rent payment. And if I could, I'd like to add resolution 179, 2022, canceling water charges at 529 Leeward Avenue.
Okay. Does anybody have a question, concern, anything they'd like to discuss or remove at this time?
Yeah, I would like to just ask you a couple of questions about the requesting the Department of the Interior to extend public comment. There's a.
Use your microphone, Nancy, put that right up to your mouth.
Sorry. There's a 45-day period right now, and we're talking about bringing that up to 120 days, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking about like almost 3 times longer. All right, I just wanted,
Well, as I read it, it's because it was a very technical 1,400-page document, and there was basically not even 2 full months. And they just feel that in order to give it all due consideration, that they should extend the period. And I believe almost everybody else on the island is doing this. If I saw, yeah.
You're gonna leave it on consent?
yeah, that's good.
Anybody else have any questions or concerns or may like to discuss? No. Okay, is there a motion to approve the resolutions within the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Ball Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Rutherford? Yes. Mayor Lambert?
Yes.
Dan, I'm gonna hand item number 1 over to you, the
Mhm.
skate park design.
Okay, again, we've been kicking around this idea for a while and felt it's time to move forward with this.
Not picking up on that.
So through conversations, we narrowed down a design contract with Pillar Designs with Brad. And he is on the call today to present 3 possible designs for the location that we penciled in up on Taylor Avenue behind the basketball courts. So if Brad is ready, I'd be happy to turn it over to him so we can get right to the meat of what's possible.
I'm here. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I'm here to present a couple of concepts based on conversations we've had in the past about what the community is looking for. I've got some little bit of background on myself and my company that I'll start with just to show some other experience, and then we can dive right into the actual concepts. But are there any questions or comments that you would like to start with before I share my screen?
No.
Can I just do a favor and ask Bob Stern, would you mind turning your camera off for a moment so that Mr. Brad can have the full screen? Does that work? I guess we don't. I don't think we need to now. Okay, you're good. Thanks, Bob.
So can everybody see the home screen here?
Not, we just don't see it, anything.
Waiting for content to launch.
Okay.
I'm gonna get it over there.
All right, let's see. Okay, nothing yet, huh? You guys are seeing the black screen?
Yeah, so there's a white box in the middle. Please wait as content sharing launch.
All right. Let's see here. Not quite sure what's going on here. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I might have to leave and re-get on. Sometimes this is how it works with Zoom.
That's fine.
All right, so let me see. I want to restart all that stuff. Well, those are, let's see, I can't do anything now. So let me go ahead and kind of restart this stuff and we'll go from there. All right.
That's fine. Take your time.
Okay, I'll be back in a second.
Yes, in the meantime,
What?
No.
or does he have a full presentation?
No, I don't have the final.
Can you pull us in with any more information, Dan, while he's doing this?
Yeah, I mean, talked to some members in the community.
Just speaking the microphone. 'Cause I'm
Sure.
not-
I talked to some members of the community and pretty much the majority of the feedback I've gotten has been positive, overwhelmingly positive, very excited about the possibility. We've also spoken with some fundraising options, and we're trying to iron them out so that we can minimize the impact to the taxpayers as a whole. We have a lot of things coming up that big budget items, like the water, and other things. So I'm trying to hopefully negotiate a way, or to get this done with the least amount of burden to the taxpayers. I know our initial conversations with the chief was that he felt out of the three possibilities that was the best place at the time. I hope he still feels that way, considering where we are in the summer. And yeah, I guess after this, this is our first shot at showing this all to the public. And, we'd like to hear some feedback, if there's a design feature you like, or you don't like, or a concern, and we'd love to answer any questions, or I would be happy to. But this is kind of getting us to the point that we can begin discussion publicly with everybody in town, just how everyone wants to move forward. So I've been looking forward to this meeting for a long time. So with the technical issue resolved, get going again.
Any questions for council to start?
What's the proposed cost?
We've been told industry average is $65 a square foot, and the area that we're looking at utilizes 4,000 square foot, so it's in the neighborhood of 260,000. The construction will be cement, and we like Brad for this project because he's also worked on the Outer Banks. He's familiar with the challenges of building on a barrier island, basically. Hopeful that his designs can come to fruition. So, the challenge of getting drainage, location, shipping, sands, and we can get something nice with it.
What age groups of kids? I mean, is this sort of multi-purpose? I mean, I know some skateboard parks that have easy stuff with lifting stations.
Conversation we had with Brad when we started this was that we're going to get two different factions of people. One being the older people, the older skaters that want contracts, bowls, transitional things. And for people that don't know what that means, it's you don't have to kick it. You get into it, and just kind of ride around it. Being an old guy, I see the logic in that. It's less exercise and wear and tear on the whole body. But the younger group, they like what's called street parks, which is more kicking. Boxes, rails, things of that nature. So he said, based on the size, that we were probably going to have to lean more one way or the other. And since we're kind of aiming this for a younger generation, as of right now, we're street park. But I can't say one of the designs that he's made, one of the concepts, looks like it will make everybody happy. But that's the goal. To try and get everybody through that. But to answer your question, we hope all ages. We're not trying to limit anybody. Little guys all to people my age.
So Brett's going to show three concepts, concept A, B, and C, each with the different square footage between. I have two 5,000 and one 6,000 square foot. A is 5, B is 6, and C is. Oh, okay, gotcha. So the three concepts, 4,000 square feet, and then there's a possibility to add on possible in the future for like different activities, and the prices are on there as well too. So what we'll look for when you go through these three concepts, everyone in the audience, then you could give us, feedback on what you like, what, you're obviously the experts here, not me at all. So that's what we're looking for the audience when you go through these concepts. Which ones you like, not like, maybe take something out of one concept, put in another concept, and that's the feedback we're looking for from the general public. Yeah.
I guess I just trying to think of questions. So we can save some time later. What about liability issues? I know that's been brought up. How do other towns deal with that sort of thing?
Well, that, it'll be treated as another playground, but it'll be covered under a limited liability insurance, which from conversations I've had, our biggest liability in town is the ocean.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is.
So it's, it will just fall under the umbrella of that policy.
And you would keep this open year round, correct? Would there be lights on it so kids could skateboard at night?
We're not trying to-
No, most skate parks are closed.
Okay,
They're never open at nighttime.
okay, that answers that. I think that makes sense. with
Yeah.
some of the problems with that.
Well, it's just injuries alone,
Mhm.
stuff like that.
I know a lot of towns do. I've seen.
I'm back.
this.
All right. Are we ready, or are you guys in the middle of something?
No, we're ready.
All right, let me see if it works this time. I showed all the other, I was gonna show you guys some video fly-throughs of the concepts, but it looks like it's gonna be dragging down my presentation, so I turned all that off and I just have the PowerPoint, and we'll be able to see it this way. So can everybody see the screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, just to introduce myself, my name is Brad Sedlecki. I am the owner of Pillar Design Studios and Pillar Skate Parks. I have been designing and building skate parks for over 20 years across the world. My firm specializes in like the design and the master planning of action sports facilities, cost estimating, public facilitation, stormwater management, things of that nature. One of the processes we have is going through this process right now, which is the design aspect of things, where we meet with the community and we talk about what it is that they're looking for, what you'd like to skate, what we'd like to ride, and we try to incorporate all that into a cohesive design that can be built all at once or can be built in phases, which in what we're going to be seeing today, we've decided to go ahead and master plan the site and show what could be built in a two-phase approach. What I'll do is I'll just walk you through a couple different styles of skate parks, just because I know to the non-skateboarder, I'll typically be talking about things that most of you that don't ride have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'll do a little bit of a background right now and talk about the different styles of skate parks. And the first being the urban style, urban design approach, which is the street aspect of skateboarding, the stairs, the handrails, the ledges, what you typically will see people skateboarding and ride their bikes on in a downtown situation. So we try to incorporate and replicate some of the famous spots in town that people do want to ride, and we try to bring that into the safe public aspect of the park. And so here's just a couple quick concepts of other parks that we've done that incorporate these street style parks. Like I said, stairs, the handrails, incorporating landscaping into the concept to kind of soften the space so it's not just a solid piece of concrete, and things like that. The next style would be the transitional parks, which is what you guys would think of as an empty swimming pool. This is a little more geared towards, the older and the bike crews, where they want to have a little bit more speed and be able to skate that backyard pool style transition. So with those two kind of parks, when we're talking about transition parks or street parks, that's what you'll be thinking about. So where we typically take these street parks and these transitional parks is we try to incorporate a little bit of both into the idea. So as you guys can see here, what we call the 50-50 parks, which is a good combination of good transition aspects, backyard swimming pool style stuff, round wall stuff, along with the stairs, the handrails, the ledges, that type of thing. One of the most important aspects of designing a skate park when we are adding a large non-pervious surface to an existing green open space, and especially as close as we are to the water, we want to think about what we're going to do with that water when it comes off of the skate park and what we're going to do with it. In the past, we've done a series of rain gardens that can collect the water, filter it, clean it before it exits into wherever we're going to put it. So I do want you guys to think about that type of stuff, and we're thinking about it also in our design process. Just to run you guys through a couple concepts so you can see a couple parks that we've done in the past. Saranac Lake, New York, 5,000 square feet. Each one of these concepts, or each one of these designs are all customized to the site and customized to what the community is asking for. Syracuse, New York, 6,000 square feet. And just so you guys know what we'll be looking at for the park, you'll see today will be somewhere in phase 1 is around 4,000 square feet, and phase 2 will be around 2,000 square feet. So Framingham, Massachusetts, 10,000 square feet, a good combination of street stuff and transitional elements up against the walkway. Anybody looking for a good vacation spot? Barbados is always a good spot. Now we especially have a 13,000 square foot skate park out there. And one of the main things that we did with this park that I really like to showcase is, you guys can see in this lower right-hand photo, is the green open space adjacent to the skate park. Skateboarding, BMX, scooters, all that is all part of a lifestyle and all part of a group of people that like to hang out together and not only spectate, but use these parks. So we like to think about the spectators and the users all in one, so that we know that the spectators have a place that they can view from a safe viewpoint and not interfere with the skateboarders. And also be able to have community events, if you want to do contests, things of that nature. Those are all things that we can think about during our design process. Nashua, New Hampshire, very transition-based design. Sometimes we're put in a spot where I'll walk into a design meeting and the skateboarders, bikers already know what they want. In this situation, they gave me a book of about 50 to 60 different props, pieces of parks that they wanted. And it was my job to take all those ideas and try to put them into one cohesive design that fit the site and fit the budget. So again, we really do customize every concept and every design to what the community is asking for. So your proposed site, what we're looking at, as you can see, the area in red is right around 6,000 square feet. And we're looking to break this up into two design or two construction phase approach to the project. And that's what you'll see with the concepts that I'll be showing. So as you guys can see, being this close to the water, we know we're really not gonna be able to go into the ground at all. And we're gonna have to control all that water as it comes off the skate park and direct it to where we wanna take it. And we've got a pretty tight space between the pathway that is existing, the basketball courts, guy wires, and the existing playground. So at this point, I was going to do some video fly-throughs for you guys to be able to show you each one of these in a little bit more detail, but the computer's not allowing me to do that right now. So what we'll do is we'll just show 3 concepts in this version here, and know that the blue sections that you're looking at are the possible phase 2. So we like to design in a master plan approach so that if and when we do want to bring in a phase 2, that it's a seamless design that works, not only when it's built, but also the phase 1 approach works without a phase 2. So in this concept here, you'll see a elongated mini ramp, half of it being phase 2. Can you guys see my cursor when I'm coming across the screen?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Some of the pieces that you'll be looking at, upper right-hand photo, is going to be, a ledge, what we call a flat bar in the middle of the red piece, manual pad, which is a lower ledge, and then kind of an entry bank at the far portion of it. And then in the lower right-hand corner, you'll see what we call an A-frame, which is just a bank up, bank down, where we've got our hubble ledges, which is the solid concrete piece to the left, and then the down rail in the middle. And then again, in the lower left, you'll see the overview with the mini ramp portion on the left-hand side. So what I've got two other concepts that we can show, and we can kind of have a discussion on which direction that we would like to move forward with. Second concept, again, the blue is a phased approach. And I threw in a separate bowl because that is something that the community did ask for. And just so you know, in order to get something like that built on this kind of site, we're going to have to build up, as you see here. So we would build up and we would do turn down ledges and we would do guardrails up on top. And it would kind of minimize how deep we could actually go with the bowl. So we'd be looking at something like a 3 to 5 feet in depth bowl. And then the phase one approach is a little bit more of a flow transition approach, which will have quarter pipes on both ends for return. Again, an A-frame idea with a flat top, with a peak top, along with the hubble ledge and the rails. And as you can see in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a couple quarter pipes with rounded tops to them, a bigger fun box, and ultimately in the far end, a big vertical wall, which would be upwards of 7 to 8 feet in height, that we could use the backside of that for skate park signage if needed. So this approach here is a little bit more of the flow speed transitional idea. The first concept, this concept I'll go back to right now, is a little bit more, is a good mix of the transition and the street. So I'd say it's a little more of a 50-50 mix. And our third concept is a little bit more of a street approach, again with a phase two mini ramp approach. So in this concept here, you'll see a little bit more smaller, more technical ledges, curbs. We've got like what we call a little kicker ramp in the lower right-hand corner that we could ollie over. We could do a concrete ball and paint that as a beach ball or something of that nature. So something to kind of represent the community. We've got a legitimate set of stairs and a handrail, and a little bit more of a flow return in the upper right-hand corner. You'll see 2 little pump bumps that go into a return quarter pipe. So those are the 3 concepts. As you can see, concept A, concept B, concept C, all with a phase 1, phase 2 approach. Again, A being a little bit of a 50-50 mix of street and transition. B being a little bit more based on the transitional side of things, a little bit less technical, but a couple street elements. And C being a little bit more on the technical street approach with a less amount of transition. So again, I was hoping to have these 3D models that I could fly you through, but that's just not working today. So at this point, we'll take any kind of questions, comments, and kind of make a decision on, which style you guys like and what you're thinking.
Brad, I have a question. In terms of how many people can be on these courses at once, do you make recommendations with each design?
Well, each one, like I said, we're right around 4,000 square feet for each concept in a phase 1. So each concept could house about the same amount. I mean, we could get upwards of 50 people in here at a time. It's just about how crowded it's going to be. So,
Right. Do you have a recommendation?
No, I don't. Not for how many people can use it. They typically say 10 people per 1,000 square feet meaning 40 people. But 40 people in this space is going to be crowded. Is it doable? Absolutely. It's all about learning how to ride the park and how the park flows and learning how to take your turn. Just like there's an etiquette to golf, there's an etiquette to skate parks. And that is something that is learned over time. So
Thank you.
this could house 20 to 40 people. Any other
On
questions?
on that same note, I think concept B would suit a little bit more of a,
Who's
oh, I'm sorry.
We haven't opened to the public yet. Hold on just a second, okay?
Sorry, no problem.
Okay, if anybody on Zoom would like to speak, if you could just raise your electronic hand, because we do have folks in the room as well, okay? So we'll get to you.
Yeah, did you want to say something?
I was just gonna say, I've been in these conversations, so I understand this, so I was gonna say open it.
And then we want to move to the public. See, anybody wants to come up? Yes. Come to the mic and,
Brad, we're gonna open it up to public comment. We're gonna do the room first, okay?
Sounds good to me.
Yes, sir.
When you come to the mic, just state your name and address really clearly before you speak.
My name is John O'Hara. I was a resident at 518 Central Avenue in Ship Bottom, now over at 807 Pennsylvania Avenue in Manahawkin. Can you guys hear me okay back there? I think working out good. So I think what was misconstrued when they first opened up was this idea that younger kids really want more of a street section kind of skate park in our town, since there's a lot of surfer children. The transition style skate park is definitely more, I think fitting to them. Kids in our area, when you look at the Barnegat Light Skate Park, are typically not using the ledges, boxes, staircases, rails. They are more so using the transition elements. So I think that most of the people in the room would agree, and I think we want to make this clear to you guys, that concept B definitely has the most of what I think all of us are looking for, because what's missing here on the island that is not missing at any of the other skate parks in our local county is a concrete bowl, like you see there on phase 2 of concept B. So what I would say is that without phase 2 in concept B, it almost becomes as useless as concept A and C, which are not kind of catering to what the kids around here are looking for. When you look at Tom's River, Brick, Ocean City, it's concept B with that concrete stand-up bowl that makes kids the most happy, and that kids anywhere from the age of 4 to 45 or 60 are using. Ocean City has a skate park quite similar, where they've built up to build that bowl down, and it works very well, and people are very happy with it. So I think that most people would agree concept B is definitely the area we want to go towards, but not without phase 2. You knock out phase 2 and we're back to just basically not having a skate park. Might as well skate
Well,
Bay Village. All right.
We can
So
do.
you guys agree?
We can do phase 2. We can build the bowl as phase 1. So I guess I should. At any one of these points, in any one of these concepts, just because I'm showing it as phase 2, I mean, it has to be phase 2. That could be phase 1, and the rest of the park could be phase 2. So if the bowl is what's most important, I can make that bowl a little bit larger and make it fit the budget and the site, and we could possibly do a phase 2 at a later time. So that's 100%. That's what I need to hear from you guys. If you really want a kind of bowl approach for phase 1, I got plenty of ideas for that too.
Next,
Anyone else?
come on up to the microphone. You can adjust it if you need to.
No, I think it's about right. Just a question for,
State your name and
Oh,
address
I'm-
for the record.
I apologize. My name is Don Miller. I live in Tuckerton, but I do have a business in Beach Haven. By the way, thank you to the council. I can't tell you how many times I've come to these meetings and there's been intense opposition. I legitimately got emotional because every single time I'm always trying to pitch this idea, and the fact that you guys are just coming and presenting design concepts is absolutely fantastic. Like, so thank you all. But a question for Brad, is there a specific reason why phase 2 in all 3 of the concepts is in the same spot? Is it possible to have phase 2 kind of be more behind the basketball court? So that way we could kind of incorporate some of the transition elements and still have the street elements, and the add-on could hypothetically be more street? Because, well, I know John's certainly very passionate about transition. I think it's certainly probably a bit more mixed in the room as far as what people younger or older probably want. I think he makes a good point that it's a surf community and transition obviously has a big role in that. But the skate specific community probably would lean more towards the street. So it's certainly mixed. So that's why I was saying, is there a way to have phase one be that section that's kind of in between the basketball courts and the bathrooms? And phase two be the stuff that's closer to where I'm assuming the dog beach is, if I'm looking at it right?
Yes, absolutely. We could definitely, even if we wanted to do like a little bit more of a basic, kind of tuck the bowl back in the corner, like we've got shown in concept B, which is on the screen, and then build, a handful of good ledges and maybe an A-frame and some small quarter pipe, some small technical things. We could definitely do that closest to the parking lot as a phase one. So it's just really just about budget at this point and what the cost was going to be to build up the bowl, what style bowl you guys are looking for. I'm showing you right now a small kidney bowl. Again, with the transitional elements, I'm not really looking to go much deeper than, 4 to 6 feet. Because when we start building up, 7, 8 feet in the air, then we're spending quite a lot of money in foam. So just to give you guys a quick little idea here, I wonder if I can, if I bring over these images, do they change? Yes, they did. Okay. So this is a project we did in Buxton, North Carolina. It's the ocean is right on the other side of this row of houses over here on the right. This area floods, 10, 20 times a year. We can't build the park up. We couldn't build the park up here with sand because we all know when water comes through, the sand is going to wash away. So we built the entire park up with an EPS geofoam. And then we encapsulate said foam in concrete. And this is, I'm trying to now show the next image here if I can. I don't know why it's not letting me go here. And this is what it looks like when it's done. So this was a little bit, just like what you guys are talking about with this community, they're a little more transition based. But this was an open-ended bowl that we built up where we could drain everything out. So I just wanted to share that real quick with everybody, just to show kind of a means and methods approach of how I would definitely propose to build anything on this site.
Next,
Yeah, hi, Justin Arnold, 8600 Beach Avenue. I'm more of a transition skater, so I would like to have the ramps, obviously. But my question is going to be, one, are you guys planning on putting a fence up around the park? And if there is, what their time's going to be? Two is the lights. If we're planning on spending $250,000 on a park, I feel like it should be worth it to have lights. Keep it open. I mean, in the summertime, it's light until 9, but in the wintertime, it could start early. So just a thought.
Reese Savert of 12 West 14th Street. I think concept C fits our community better because even though we're a surf community, the true skaters who come to Donnie shop every day, like me and all my friends, we all skate street. It's all we skate around here. We don't have bowls. And given the concepts, I don't think we have the space for a bowl, maybe in phase 2, but I think concept C would really fit actual skaters, even though the community is surfers, like I surf, we all surf, everybody surfs. The concept C, it's the best option for us with the street section, because with that Buxton Park, it's all transition. I've skated a million times. Only one person can skate at a time, and when
Yep.
Bay Village has a million kids running around it, everybody's walking around. A park like that, people run into each other and stuff goes bad. Personally, I think concept C and maybe changing that a little bit would be our best bet, because
Okay.
real skateboarders who come into our like the shop, the real skate community, I think fully would fit them the best. over
What would you like to see changed?
in concept C?
Yes.
I mean, I think it looks great. If that showed up, I'd be stoked, but I mean, I don't know. Looks good to me. I don't know anything since then, but I'd have to look at it more. But yeah, the stair set and the down rail is definitely a big priority, I think, in most of the skaters' minds. I think a down rail and stair set, and then that kicker to spear looks really good. The box, all that would fit us really, really well. And a lot of people could skate at once instead of having a
Yep.
bowl where only one person can skate at a time.
Okay. All good points.
Thank you.
Come on up if you'd like to speak.
Hello?
Hold on, we're gonna do the first. Everybody on Zoom, just leave a hand raised. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Chris Weedling. I live on 329 Essex in Beach Haven. One, I'd like to say that I support the concept. I think it's great. I'd love to see it happen. When council members Dan Allen and Jamie Bowmiller brought it up to the PTA back in May, looking to get it paid for, I said that if we got a cannabis dispensary approved in town, the cannabis licensees would pay for it up front. And so that offer is still out there, still available. I also want to point out, like, you have 40 or 50 people here that were given the opportunity to come show their enthusiasm at a public meeting for the concept that they want. And I think it's great that your 10-year-old daughter has been given 2 opportunities to present publicly this concept. My 40-year-old black wife has not been given the same opportunity. Mayor Lambert made sure she was never allowed to present publicly a cannabis dispensary. We have 650 voters that voted for cannabis, 2/3 a supermajority. I bet even some of the people in here would be for cannabis.
Sir, if I may.
Yeah.
Right now, we're commenting on the skateboard.
Yeah, and I'm commenting on the hypocrisy of she getting to present publicly, but my wife not being able to. present.
It's time for you to comment in public portions, in open public comment, but that time we're limiting comments strictly to the skateboard. Thank you.
Cool, I think it's a great concept. Let's do it.
John Borsellino, 823 Taylor Avenue. I guess North Bay Ave, actually. I think there's a lot of great ideas in all 3 concepts. Concept B, which, some of the surf community has been leaning towards, I think, is a little bit too aggressive when it comes to like a full encapsulated bowl. I think, what we can do is we can probably like maybe manipulate concept C a little bit instead of like in the phase 2, having just a mini ramp, to have it be like maybe a bowl corner, where it like kind of rounds into that corner there instead of it just being its own individual mini ramp. And then maybe to bring a couple of concepts from C and B together, where you have some flow aspects, but also some street aspects together. I think a lot of importance is going to be needing to put into spacing out the features properly, not jamming everything too close together, or also not making things too difficult for skaters of all levels to use.
Thank you.
John, can you stop, John, for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Just drop your last name. Everyone speaks so fast. Thank you. Would like to speak, come on up.
Hello, my name is Quinn Baumiller and I live at 115 6th Street in Beach Haven. I attend the Beach Haven Elementary School and will be a 6th grader in September. My dad has built 2 quarter pipes in the last 2 years, but each year we have to give them away because they're not permitted in the streets of Beach Haven. Beach Haven is a unique and loves skateboarders and is a terrific place to grow up, but it would be much better if we had a skate park. It would be a great place for my friends to come together outside and skate together. We often go to Barnegat Light during the off season. They have a small skate park, but it would be awesome if we have one in Beach Haven. There are playgrounds for younger kids, basketball courts, tennis, and pickleball courts. But a lot of the kids that live here and grew up here skateboard. We came to you last year with a petition for a skate park with over 150 signatures, mostly Beach Haven homeowners that are supporting us. We are asking the council to please follow through and build a skate park. Thank you for your time.
Anyone else in the room?
My name is Ava Melandro. I live at 403rd Street in Beach Haven. I'm a student at Southern Regional Middle School. Beach Haven is a lovely place to surf and especially skate. I have many friends who love to skate and would like a skate park. We handed in a petition with over 150 signatures. I think it's a great idea because kids won't be getting in trouble on other people's property. Also, I agree with what Reese said, that concept C, a skate park, fits our community the best. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Moses DeMartino, 339 Jeffries Avenue. I just want to say I agree with Johnny. Concept C seems the best. I think the most amount of people can skate it at once, and would be cool to have a bowl. I think, like they said, going with phase 2 and just rounding out the mini into a bowl, like a half bowl, would be ideal.
Moses, can I have your last name? Brian, can you hear everybody okay?
Yes, I can hear everybody.
Anyone else in the room?
Lucas Claus, 22 West Pennsylvania Avenue. I agree with Reese and everyone over here that is saying concept C. I don't live here full year round, but I do come here in the summers, and I'm here pretty often in the winter, so I don't have much say next to everyone down here. But I will say, I know a lot of the skaters in this community, and a lot of people do surf, and a lot of people do like transition skating, but for the younger generation and also like incorporating everyone else, I think concept C would be the best part, or best option. Like we said before, the bowl corner instead of the mini ramp, that would be awesome. Definitely would want to see like a bunch, like the down rails and ledges and stuff too, because that's not only what I like skating, but all my friends like skating too. So I would have to go with concept C over any other concepts. And maybe what, I forgot his other name, but he said maybe add some like pump and transitional aspects back to the street too. I feel like we would all be cool with that, just as long as we keep it catered to everyone and not just one transition or one street aspect. You know what I mean? So like he said, a 50-50 skate park, which would be awesome. Yeah.
Lucas,
Thank
can you jot your name down for me?
Mhm.
Someone else? If you've already spoken once, just give everyone else a chance to speak once before we repeat. Anyone else in the room? Okay, we're gonna go to Zoom. Stephen Kirschner. You can unmute yourself, state your name and address for the record, please.
Hello, my name is Stephen Kirschner. I live at 410 Taylor Avenue, right across from the basketball courts. My concern isn't with the park itself, but it's with the crowds and crowd control. I understand, and reading the sandpaper, the articles, that one of the reasons for this location is because there is a police presence and in this area already. Over the past several years, the crowds have been getting larger and more unruly. We, not infrequently, we've had a number of problems with crowds, kids, and the older teens. My other concern is that we frequently hear a lot of screaming, cursing, yelling from the basketball court and that area. And Mike, I've been here 17 years now, and my kids have grown up, through high school and college, and I now have 2 grandchildren who are here, a 2-year-old, 1-year-old. And when we take them to the swings or the park there, and it's just sometimes we leave and see others leaving just because of some of the language and some of the things that are going on here. We as a member of Bay Club, own and keep that Bay Beach and the Dog Beach open as well. And the little deck we have out back, we go there, watch sunset. After that, kids come and we find girls' underwear, used condoms, and other things there now. We frequently talk with the police, primarily the bike cops, who keep reminding us that they really have no authority for these kids, and they do the best they can by making a presence. But I just want to make sure that there's something in the budget to increase police or some type of a supervisory presence there. I'm also an orthopedic surgeon, And again, as you said, one of the things with safety and injuries and issues and being careful. I mean, obviously, it's just like everything else here, it's a skate at your own risk. And I'm assuming the ones that stay will be more people that are being careful and cautious about that. Like I said, my concern isn't the exact design of the park. It's more the supervising, during hours when people are there. And as you said, it can, as Brad was mentioning to us, that it can take up to 10 people per 1,000 square feet. But that may be a little crowded with 6,000 square feet and obviously 60 people in there. I don't think that would have happened anyway, because I think most of these skaters are on the cautious, safer side and, won't start a run unless they see that it is open. And as he also mentioned, as far as the etiquette, just like we see with the basketball court and other things, people are not adverse to waiting their turn and, taking their turns and waiting there too. So I think that flow would be okay with that. Like I said, my concern is that especially through COVID, there have been a lot more people from everywhere on this island, down from Loveladies and Barnegat, Holgate, congregating in this one area, because there really is no other area on this island for these people to hang out, so to speak. And it's become a big hangout for the teens, the preteens, and some of the older kids. When I was here, the curfew was a couple hours earlier. It's increased now, getting later. And I've, in talking to the police frequently, who know us because we're around all the time, but in the past, they've had trouble with some of the crowds. They say they'll chase the kids, at curfew off of the park. Then they go to the beach, they chase them off the beach. They come back and chase them out of the park and back and forth. And the other thing that they've had issues with is just the level of disrespect from the kids or teens or preteens, because they have, they basically come up to say, you can't do anything about it anyway. I'm going to do what I want to do. So like I say, the issue 2 years ago was because of COVID at the police academy, were really understaffed. Now I see more of the bike cops around and the cars are making more of a presence. But again, there's still a lot of issues that are happening. And I'm just concerned that if this brings a larger, older crowd of kids to this area, that'll be pushing away some of the younger crews with the strollers and the younger kids at that park.
Thank you, Steve.
So, okay.
Thank you.
We can't hear anybody out here in Zoom land. Can't hear anybody.
I can hear you, Brad. It just
There you
sounds
go.
like, it sounds like they muted the room. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Because I can't hear. You're the only person I can hear.
Okay.
Somebody else started.
There we go. You're back. We can hear you now.
Yeah. Mike Carbajal, go ahead. Can anyone in Zoom land hear me? Mike Carbajal.
Yes, yes. Can you
Yes.
guys hear me?
Yes.
Go ahead, please. So,
Okay,
state your name
guys.
and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Mike Carbajal. I'm resident of 10 Bog Hollow Court, West Creek, New Jersey, 08092. I was born and raised in Beach Haven. I've been there since, I was there in 1977. That's when I was born and raised there. I grew up as a skateboarder throughout the 80s. My mom, Pat Howe, has a lot of gray hair from it. If everybody remembers Patty Howe, she's still kicking it. There was never a place for us to skate. There was never a place for us to go anywhere. And it was really lame. I'm not even going to talk about the concepts, whatever. Hey, Groms, you want concept A or B, whatever. Us old guys like the bowl. Come on, you guys know it. So I'm not even going to really put too much effort on that. I just wanted to put my neck out there and say, it is important for us to support our youth. It is important for us to support a place for these kids to, skate and.
Mike, we lost your microphone.
I am so sorry. Can you guys hear me again?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go fast. So the other gentleman, Steve, that talked, you got a good point, dude. I get that. My retort to that, Steve, with regard to the policing of it is I truly feel that if Beach Haven allows us to have this, that it's such a gift that there actually is an etiquette amongst the skateboarding community, more than basketball, more than some of these other sports and stuff, that I really feel that it actually self-polices itself. And having a police presence is important. We had one over in Ocean Acres back in the day, and it was out of the way and it was by the woods, and kids unfortunately did what kids do. I truly don't think that's going to be the situation here. Talk about revenue, guys. We're in a surf town, surfing, skateboarding. It's millions of dollars that are generated. And I really think that this could bring more money to our town, which would help everybody. So, if it's me, I like the bowl, or what Johnny said. That's cool. If you want to do a mini half with a bowl concept, I think that's great. There's got to be something for the kids that they're doing street. There's got to be something for the old fogies like me that just want to cruise around, and also for the little kids. That's how you get started, is by having something to pump on. So that's what I wanted to say. I 1000% support it. I work with Equity Prime Mortgage. We're a local mortgage company in town, and we're going to do everything we can to help support it in whatever way we can. So I'm just going to throw that out there. And I appreciate you letting me speak today, and I hope it goes through, guys. And Dan Allen and Ms. Baumiller, you guys are awesome. Thank you for letting us be heard.
Thanks, Mike.
Congratulations.
Brian Carey, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Brian Carey. I live at 619 Long Beach Boulevard in Ship Bottom. I am a former employee of Donnie, who spoke earlier. I kind of want to second what he said before. I know more than anybody how long he's been pushing for the park to come up in this area. We haven't really had one since Ocean Acres closed down, and I know how hard he's been fighting, so I appreciate that. And also, to kind of go off of what Johnny said before, I do like Concept B and Concept C. I think Concept C with a bowl somewhat in it would be the best fit for this area, because I think it would really benefit the younger street skaters. And I think, like Mike said before, it would really benefit the older kind of transition guys who just kind of want to cruise around. So I think a hybrid of C and B would be best for around here.
Thank you, Brian. Jason Murray.
Hello, my name is Jason Murray. I live at 408 Coral Street in Beach Haven. First off, I just want to thank the council for undertaking this and finally putting this skate park initiative on the table. Like Mike Carvajal, I grew up skating in Beach Haven most of my life. Used to skate the bank, the school, curb cuts in front of Pier 18. I mean, it was anywhere we could skate and not get kicked out. We were always getting chased by the bike cops. To have a place in Beach Haven that kids could safely do the thing that they're passionate about would be a gift to the community that would pay dividends for generations to come. Skateboarding covers a wide array of ages and demographics. And the community that is part of that is very tight, very supportive. As Mike said, very, very self-regulating. I think having this structure here might alleviate some of the concerns that were expressed around just chaos that is in that area right now. I think when you look at the three concepts, I think that Brad's team has done a good job at providing a few different options. When you look at these creatively, I don't think they're absolute. I'm sure Brad would agree that different parts and pieces of these things can be blended together. So if you like something from concept A, or you like something from concept C or B, there's probably some hybrid of these three designs that could be blended together. I think there's good merits to all of them. I think finding that balance that appeals to both street and transitional skaters is where you want to end up. And as Mike said earlier, also appealing and covering all abilities. You want kids to feel welcome and not intimidated by the features, that there's something there that they can learn on. Likewise, you want someone that's been skating 40 years to be able to go there regularly and not get bored. So it's important to sort of cover a wide array of skill sets. I do think with the blue half pipes that are currently outlined in A and C, some of those corners might be rounded to make them more bowl-like, so that you didn't necessarily have to have just a specific bowl as developed in option B. But yeah, I applaud everybody's efforts. Thanks, Brad. Thanks, Dan, and everybody else in the council, Nancy, who have supported this, Ms. Ballmiller. One other note, that west side there along the bay, I'm sure, Brad, you probably thought about this, but probably needs some sort of system of fencing or something to keep boards out of the bay. Looks like there's a lot of opportunity for stuff ended up in the water there, especially with that sort of path along the east-west or north-south street setup.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jason. Jennifer Tomlinson.
Hi, Jen Tomlinson, 306 South Bay Avenue, Beach Haven. Skate parks are great, and I used to drive my kids to Barnegat Light, and we would go up to Hunter Mountain to one. And I agree with what everyone's saying about the older and the younger and them teaching them. I think it's wonderful. My question is to this council, just that you've, in not too far past, had numerous town meeting discussions limiting, how do you limit pools or yard coverage due to the excessive flooding? And maybe I missed it, but has something been addressed of how you'll combat 6,000 square feet of cement in what's currently drainable pervious covering?
Hi, Jen. Yes, earlier Brad's design team actually would like to figure out a way to engineer the stormwater from the cement basins into an area that will be slowed down, properly drained, and then returned back to the groundwater.
And that's in the plan already, or they're working on it?
No, we're working on that, Jen. Today is more or less to get like a feel for, what the town, as far as the skateboarding community, what concepts they like, what pieces from each concept they like, and overall just a big discussion to go through the design and of the three concepts. But that design will be incorporated at a later date.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else on Zoom wish to be heard? Anyone else in the room wish to be heard?
I'd like a chance.
Come on up.
So just like in regards to the concerns about the self-policing and everything, and I just want to,
State your name one more time
oh,
so we
sorry,
know.
John Borsellino. Just to reiterate Mike Carvajal's point and stuff like that, you have a lot of like skateboarders in the room, and I think if you build them a skate park that they're going to like and that they're going to use often, they will be the police force. They're going to be there often. They're going to make sure that, you know, we're all abiding by the unwritten rules of skateboarding and that we're playing nice with each other and making sure people who are there not to skate are not given the opportunity to mistreat the property and use it in a way that it would be not good for the town. After visiting a lot of other skate parks in a lot of other towns, some of them embedded in the middle of communities, away from main roads, away from like visible sight. If the skate park is designed in a way that is good, that people want to go to it, the people who are there are going to be the ones to take care of the business and make sure that everything is run the right way.
I have a question. Is there mandatory safety equipment that has to be worn or not? Yeah, okay. Okay. Okay.
Hello, Don Miller again. I guess my question would just be, is it possible after this meeting that a small group of us can actually meet with Brad to kind of get more specific, obviously via Zoom or something like that? Because I think there's a lot of opinions in the room. It does seem pretty universal that we're somewhere between B and C. I keep pointing to me saying C is not entirely, I'm Switzerland. All right. I don't have one of those two. I would like, obviously, everyone in the room to be at least a little happy and a little upset with it. I think good compromise means that everybody leaves a little bit upset with it. So I think that's probably what it'll end up being. But the last thing we want is for like the transition guys to be upset that there's not enough true transition. But it can't come at the cost of obviously majority of the younger kids probably being able to use it best. So I think if we could, you have the devout transition guys meet with the more street specific guys with Brad. I'm sure we can come up with a concept that everybody is okay with. But I think in this setting, it'll probably just be a lot of back and forth and a lot of repetitive stuff coming up. Is that something that Brad, if he's listening, is agreeable to?
Yes, 100%.
Perfect. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
So-
On that note, I think that's a great spot to wrap it up. Anything else from council on this project that you want to say?
I'm excited that y'all came out to speak about it. It makes me excited to know that we can have something for our community that kind of fits the culture of our community as well. So I appreciate the input. I know this is, work in progress, and I really like what you said, compromise. Everyone needs a little bit unhappy about something, but it's the best for the community here. So thank you so much for coming.
I thank everyone for coming, and I want to especially thank, not just because it's my daughter and one of her good friends, Ava, like they went out into the public to get over 150 signatures. These papers had like stains on them. They were at Murphy's, they were at Palm Holes, I don't know how but they were all over. And even before that, Ava tried to petition the council, previous council with Shay O'Donnell as well, to really get this moving. So, it's time that we really give back to the kids in Beach Haven, and even if you don't live in Beach Haven, the kids in township as well, because we are a very strong community here. We try to entice people to move here and raise their children here, and I think this would be a really big attribute to the community. So thanks, guys.
Thank you, Brad. Anything else from you, Brad, before we say goodbye?
I am good for now. So we can chat later and kind of have a synopsis over this. And if needed, we can definitely have a little bit more of a private meeting with some of the skateboarders and kind of finalize and tweak the idea.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just wanted to thank everybody too. It's great to have a room full of people that aren't mad at you.
Almost.
Yeah. Say thank you to Chris, she's been with me.
Yes.
Brad.
You good.
And guidance, sometimes calming down. This is something I don't like. And it's great that, what year are you in? Fourth grade this week? 15? When you presented? Yeah, you guys, I had talked to you. I was your age. I wasn't thinking about circulating the petition. I was thinking about how am I not going to get in trouble? I had talked to you and thank you for really kickstarting this and putting it on the field.
Okay, everybody good on that? All right, now we transition right into the Knox box discussion.
So we've been meeting regularly with the volunteer fire company. And there's been some discussions about implementing a Knox box ordinance in Beach Haven. So a Knox box is a small steel box that's mounted in the building's entrance that only the Beach Haven Volunteer Department would have a key to open. The owner provides a key or access code inside the box to allow firefighters to gain access to the property due to fire or carbon monoxide alarm. The proposed ordinance would require that all existing commercial buildings be equipped with all the commercial buildings that are equipped with an automatic fire detection or suppression system install the Knox box. Would also be required for all new commercial construction, for all existing commercial improvements requiring land use board approval. In addition, all multifamily residential structures that have restricted access through locked doors and have a common corridor for access to the living units would also be required to install the Knox box. The proposed ordinance would require the installation of the box within 6 months of the effective date of the ordinance. And the Knox boxes can be purchased online through knoxbox.com, and it does nothing to do with purchasing through the municipality. We can just supply you with the information. When they make the purchase, then you identify your fire company and they are notified that the box is being purchased. The fire chief recommends a model for commercial properties that ranges around $430 and for the residential use about $170. And again, just to reiterate that Knox box is only for, it's only mandated for properties where your alarm system reports to a central station alarm company or direct dials the police department. And the advantage to having one is that when the fire company arrives, often after an alarm is sent through dispatch, if they find that there is no one occupying the property, the Knox box will allow firefighters to gain entry and check the building immediately for danger, saving the property owner money with damage to the property. And only the Beach Haven Volunteer Fire Company with access to the codes. And we do have Chief Adam Elander here today. If you could step up to the microphone, Adam. If you have any questions from the council or from the public, we'll discuss the possibility of introducing this ordinance at a future meeting.
Okay.
Council?
So, Adam, there are a few businesses already and residential homes, even though residential is not required, that have this system in place, correct?
That is correct.
And it's more or less, you know, as volunteers, when you go to a call, rather than, you know, destroying property, you can get into the property very, very quickly.
Yeah, so for example, we've had a few incidents with one example is like a mixed use property. So it's commercial on the bottom, then you have residents up top. So if you have these storefronts and they're locked up, you know, we may be waiting for 30, 40, 50 minutes for a key holder that may be on the mainland, or they may be on vacation. They're calling somebody else to come down and unlock it for them. And I may have people that are sleeping above. I don't know what the how bad the hazard is until we gain entry. If we're not seeing smoke and flame, then we also have to assume that there is still an emergency until we go in and deem that it is safe. So in that case, I don't want to break a door or a window or anything unless I absolutely, it's 100% necessary. You know, the fundamental principles of firefighting are preservation of property, saving lives, and incident stabilization. So if it's an unoccupied structure, the next thing is going to be to, you know, mitigate any damage that would be made to someone's property. We don't want to destroy houses if we don't have to. We don't want to destroy commercial buildings if we don't have to. We have a few in town, like you said.
Some of the hotels, what they've done is they already have them installed. They installed them years ago. They actually put prints of the layouts of the hotel. So if we go to the alarm panel and it says, you know, this room has an alarm, we know exactly, okay, second floor on the south side, you know, get a line there, get a truck there, and speeds up the process. The one thing that we're always battling is time. Some of the other places in town that have it is like the school, for example. So, you know, at night, if there's an alarm at the school, it's unoccupied, anything like that, we can go in there, we can check it out. You know, we've had issues. We've been called there in the past for incidents and stuff like that. So this way we can go again. We don't want to destroy anything at a school if we don't have to, and we can go in safely, you know, take care of any hazard or deem that it is safe and it's just a false alarm and we can get in, get out and call it a day. So, I mean, really, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here, just, you know, add a little grease and make it move quicker. So that's all it is. It's a rapid entry system. For commercial properties, it's $468, I believe, Sherry. To have it mounted, it's just a lockbox. You can put a key in it, you can put codes in it, whatever we can gain access to the property. We have 4 of them on our trucks. We have our own individual PIN numbers. So if there's any concerns about any kind of theft or anything, if I was going to use my code to retrieve the key, I'd have to put it in, it records it, timestamps it. I go in, then I can unlock a Knox box, get whoever's keys that are in there, gain entry to the property, and then lock it back up when I'm done and leave. So if anything's missing, I'm the only person that was able to do it, you know, and this way the liability also falls on the fire department. We're there to, you know, protect property, but there is also that security factor. That's why it's there. The boxes themselves are tamper proof. You cannot break into them. You cannot destroy them. You cannot get into them. Every city that you ever go into, you will notice that they're actually in the walls and everything so that the fire departments can get in or first responders. So there's that safety aspect that no one can get your keys. And also, you know, you don't have to worry about anyone that's actually going in and doing something they're not supposed to be doing. So it's literally just to make things a little bit easier. And they do have them also for residential. They're $170. You can mount them on the back of your structure or on hang them over a door, whatever. And it's the same principle that, you know, there's a key there. So that if you have a rental and you're not here for 6 months of the year and there's an emergency at your property, you know, we can go in, unlock the door, find out, oh, it's dead batteries, and we can go out without destroying everything, leave a note, you know, do what we have to do. But this way we don't have to destroy any of your property trying to get in there. And that's pretty much it.
When they order the Knox box and it arrives at their house, then what?
So what they're going to do is they're going to call us. And actually, if you have questions about the Knox box, you know, you can come to the firehouse, you can call the number, speak to me, you can shoot me an email. Be happy to field any questions, help you, walk you through it and everything. When you order the Knox box, it'll get delivered. You cannot install it until you call us to have it installed, because everything, again, with it being secured so that no one can get into it, part of the feature is that we have to unlock the box so that you can mount it and then lock it again. This way, nobody can tamper with the mounting and actually just take the whole thing. It's basically like a little mini safe for your keys and any other information. Also, the ancillary part of that is that we can do a little bit of pre-planning when we're there. We can look at your structures and look at, you know, we usually install them by the front door or by the FDC connection for your sprinkler system. If you don't have that, we may have it installed closest to the hydrant. So this way, if we have to hit a hydrant for fire, we know, okay, the Knox box is at that closest point. But the idea is that if we're going to also be installing it, we can also kind of do some of that pre-planning. We can know some of the hazards that may be at some of these commercial properties. If you have a pool room and it's full of chemicals and it catches on fire, we don't necessarily want to throw a ton of water on chlorine or other chemicals. If you have other hazards that may be on, you know, in your commercial structure, we can pre-plan all these things and again make it safer for our volunteers, but also make it a quicker job and do the things that need to be done to make it safe for everybody so everyone can go home. So that's what it is. It's, again, rapid response, rapid. So this way we know everything that is actually on that structure and we can kind of talk you through the things that need to be done, where it needs to be placed, and, you know, things to help out the community with their properties.
No.
So what
Use your
percentage,
microphone,
what percentage of, for example, towns in Ocean County
do this?
Well, I could tell you that the town right next door, the next one up with a fire department from us north, they already have this ordinance passed and they use it. There's a lot of towns that are already doing this. There's a lot of commercial properties that are doing this without it even being an ordinance, just because of how quickly you can gain entry, not destroy anything, and get out, and how secure everything is for, a not significant amount of money. There's a lot of places on this island in town in our area that have already opted to do this without this being, regulated. So I think it's something that everybody has the same goal. Everybody wants their property to be protected and everything. And this is just another way to do it. So I don't know. I couldn't give you a statistic of how many like in Ocean County have it, but I know that like Ship Bottom, they already have the ordinance passed. They passed it years ago. With all the commercial properties and everything. It's part of their certificate of occupancy.
So we could put this in without having an ordinance. In other words, if I wanted one of these, I could.
You could absolutely.
I could have it just called.
You could have it put in your house. Yep.
I'm concerned if we have an ordinance and everybody has to have them in by a certain date, it might be a little difficult with a lot of people not being here in the winter and so on. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, and some of the stuff that we discussed was, summertime's really busy for a lot of these commercial properties and everything, property owners. And, the off season is usually when they do any of the renovations and stuff anyway. So having the time to do it during the off season, I think would probably be best. I don't think anybody wants to do it in the middle of the summer when they're busiest, this way that when they're doing renovations and stuff, I have to get this installed, and it doesn't take long. And it is something that they contact us. They let us know when people are going to have installed, and we come right out just like we come out for anything else. So when they call us and they say, hey, we need to do an installation, no problem. We have crews and we'll send them out and make sure it gets done when it needs to be done.
Nancy, specifically for commercial establishments or multifamily, not residential, not single family. Obviously a single family could opt in.
Yep.
But the requirement is commercial and multifamily.
Well, that makes total sense, but, and that would ease up on, everybody, if it were residential, I was just worried if everybody's trying to get one of these and get it installed. in such a
No.
short period of time.
Yeah, it's optional for the residents. It's a good thing. I mean, I wouldn't say any reason not to do it. I know a lot of people hide their keys on their properties and everything, but this is a more secure way to do that. And also, we're talking about, we live in an area, we have multi-million-dollar properties. So, at the cost of, a couple $100 to protect, a $4 million home, and we can get in there real quick and make sure that the job's done or not destroy anything, I think it's worth it.
I totally agree.
But that's not regulated, no.
Yeah.
I agree 100%, but after last year, I would just want to make sure that the business community has ample time to see, learn about this, address it, because I know anything coming up in the summertime, they won't be looking at, and that would be I give.
We did send out an email blast to the business community so they knew that the discussion was happening today. And the ordinance will take its normal course and be published, and we'll hold a public hearing, and it'll take 2 readings in 20 days to be effective. So
I just want to make sure they have the opportunity, because last time when we did something in the middle of summer, there was a big uproar because the business owners weren't able to be here. So I just want to make sure they have ample time to read, react, and discuss. I can't imagine they wouldn't want to, but I just want to make sure we have that opportunity there.
Yeah, we're not ready to introduce yet.
Okay.
Today, we have some more homework to do. and a
Okay.
Database to build, so.
Okay.
We'll take a little while.
Thanks.
Thanks, Adam.
Anything else?
Yep.
All right.
And thank you also for all the calls. I know you've been going to a zillion, as our police department and first aid has. So thank you all very much.
Thank you guys. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Adam. I have a bill list today in the amount of $4,102,548.34.
Everybody have a chance to review the bills?
Yes.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Ball Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mayor Lambert?
Yes. Okay, looks like we're public comment. So we've already done a lot of public comment today earlier, but this is our official. So please come up, identify yourself. And we didn't specify before, but if you can, please try to hold it to 3 minutes. and whatever topic you'd like. Start with the room.
First, so anyone on Zoom that would like to speak, if you could just raise your electronic hand and then hang tight, please.
Is there anybody in the room that would like to speak? No? How about Zoom?
Tony Gambles.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. I just have a question.
State
Tony,
your name and address for the record, Tony.
I am 1 Marine Street, sorry. My question is, we've been having some building done on Marine Street, and again, this is what happens when you're the supervisor of a condo and the president. It just, you're the speaker. And the trucks and the noise and just total chaos that's been going on. We just want to know, is this permitted like during the summer? Like, what can we do? I called the police. Yesterday, there was a porter stand, a Mr. Bob, right by the benches where the kids sit. I don't know what the rules are, what's going on. And the other thing is today someone blocked my car and I went up to them. I said, look, I really don't want to call the police. He goes, you call him. I've lived here 40 years and the police know me. I don't know who he was, but he was contractors. Well, you know what? I've lived here 60 years and, I would never say that to anybody, nor would I have the clout to say that. So if you could give me some advice or, expect just what's going on.
Tony, what type of construction?
They're redoing a house.
So house.
People are there. They're putting a walkway over the dunes. They are putting in pavers. I mean, it's just total bedlam. But the thing is, a fire truck could not get up our street. We have to actually go down the one way. Like, our street has the parking in the middle. So good thing the surf school's not here because they would have total chaos. We can't go up the side that you're supposed to, the right-hand side, and come down the left. We have to go up and down the left-hand side because it's totally blocked. So I just want to know, what is the protocol? I mean, people are here on vacation, and this has not been a vacation for July for anybody. It's really been hard.
Tony, you and I can talk. This is Sherry. We can talk if you like, and we can look at the code book and we'll figure it out together.
Yeah, I just don't know what's going on. I mean, maybe that it's fine to put your porta stand in the middle of the road. Maybe it's fine to take up spaces and you can't come down the street. I don't know. I do know you shouldn't be telling someone, I know I've lived there 40 years and I know all the police and you can call them if you want. I just don't think it's appropriate. That's it.
Thanks, Tony. We'll work together.
Thanks, Sherry. Absolutely.
Thank you. William Burris.
Good afternoon. The members of.
Just state your name and address for the record, please.
William Burris, 100 Northwest Avenue, Beach Haven. I wanted to just say that our companies wanted to make sure that we told you that we endorse the skate park projects and that we're willing to donate to those projects as necessary. We think it's a good thing and something that should be pursued, however they do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
No one else? Seeing no one else, we'll close the floor to public comment. And it looks like now we will be going into executive session.
Go into executive session, potential litigation, attorney-client privilege. I expect to be in the executive session about 45 minutes. No formal action will be taken. And when we return to public session for final remarks, no final formal action will be taken then either. Thank you.
We need our computer. Okay.
Like the, you can see the shop. That's all, that's all. Lock it up. Spikes and stuff.
No, they won't.
Sounds good. I'll see you. Little rant. Little rant.
This is John. Operator.
We can't go to.
That's what I was doing. Hey.
Okay, we're on.
Okay, we are now back from executive session and it's time for final remarks by council. Dan, would you like to kick us off?
Sure. It's a crowded room. So, just thank everybody who came to this. Did forget to thank one person who did an excellent part of the staff that heard here this, but John Cohen. I want to thank him for his voice. And getting forward. Oh, I hope the ocean.
Thank you. Jamie?
Just echoing what Dan stated, thank you. This was a nice, positive meeting, and I just want to go on record stating that this is, anybody has the right to speak during public comment as many times as they see fit for their 3-minute stretch at any meeting, so please come.
Thank you. Nancy?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Dan and Chris and Jamie for working so hard on the skateboard project. I think it's a wonderful thing for the town, and it was wonderful having so many people here today to help us do the right kind of skateboard in the park, and I think that's very important. As somebody said in the audience, and I thought this was a great comment, if we build a skateboard park that is the kind of park that people want, they will take the responsibility of making sure that people are following the rules and behaving with courtesy to the other skateboarders. I think that's true. Thank you.
Thank you. Chris?
I too want to say thank you to the men and women and children that came out today to support the skate park. I am excited about seeing this continuing to move forward. I appreciated Brad's insights, and I did agree with you. I loved having the gentleman say, if we can do it the right way, it will be policed itself. I also want to acknowledge Don from Surf Shack. He wrote a really nice thing on social media, just encouraging people to come and be positive, and that was definitely seen here today. So really happy about that.
Great, thank you. Ditto, everybody did a good job again, last but not least, right? Now, thank you very much. Great turnout, and, we'll move forward from here. And halfway through the summer, be safe, be careful. And is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.